Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? I, for one, am doing amazing because I woke up this morning, I had breakfast, and the moment I got to the living room, boom, three birthday presents were sitting on the kitchen table. Didn't think I'd see them at first thing in the morning. I thought Mom was gonna maybe hide them and reveal them later, but hey, at least I got to open them. And first, I forgot to tell you guys that I think it was for Christmas, I got a rock tumbler. And basically, it's a machine that can tumble rocks and like outdoor rocks that you find, put them in the tumbler, and they come out all shiny and cool looking. But you have to follow a 4-step process, each of which takes almost a whole month to do. So, you have to really, you have to follow it, like, step by step. And so, my Heather, my aunt, like I said, she bought me a jar of rocks to tumble, which is cool. And it was by this shop. I don't know what it's called, but I think they sell untumbled rocks, basically. They even came with like a little business card in case you wanted to shop with them again. Mom decided to keep it. I don't know if the shop is around here in Dwight somewhere, or if it's closer to Arkansas, like where my grandmother lives. But I may have to look into it if there's that shop is nearby. But anyways, my second present, it was a Chin Chin pet, Chi Chi pet. You know those inflatable like figurines with the wacky hair coming out of it. Yeah, a lot of you guys might know what that is, but I I don't know if I told you guys this, but I've been obsessed with Family Guy as of late. I mean, I'm 17 now, so I think I'm pretty much old enough to watch it. And I got a Chi-Chi pet, and it's Stewie Griffin. And Stewie is one of my favorite characters from Family Guy, so that's why Dad got it for me. It's cool. I don't know when we're going to inflate it, or really how it works, because I never really owned a Chi-Chi pet before. And the last gift? Well, I've always wanted a PC, because my mom's computer is a Windows PC, and I always wanted one, because you can download a lot of cool apps from there. Like ClanGen. I'm a big fan of Warrior Cats. You know, the book series by Aaron Hunter. Yeah, there was this game inspired off of it called ClanGen, where you could basically customize your own clan. And there's also another game I recently found out called AWUGen, which is a pack simulation. I don't know if it was inspired off of Aaron Hunter. It probably wasn't. I mean, I'm a wolf lover, so what do you guys expect? Of course I was going to freaking download it. And you can only download those apps on a PC, specifically on Windows. And guys, you'll never guess what I got. I got my own PC. Yes, you guys are correctly, my very own Windows PC. I finally got one. I wanted one for weeks, and now I finally got it. And best of all my original games, boom, they're already downloaded on there. It took a long time for Mom to set it up. I mean, the rebooting process was easy, but downloading the apps in general took forever because the apps refused to open. So Mom had to unblock a bunch of stuff, and now the apps are working. So I'm really happy about that, because now I can play on my PC. So, Yeah, and maybe when this laptop eventually stops working, because, come on, all devices stop working eventually, then I might use my new PC to start recording videos, my next few videos, if my laptop decides to take a crap. Because, well, it's not always just gonna be phones that are gonna take a crap. All devices hit that stage eventually, you know? Um, yeah, I might show you what my PC looks like in another vlog. But, anyways, with all those shenanigans out of the way, I'm gonna read another story today. And this time, I'm going to read about a character that not many of you know unless you watched a certain animation on YouTube. You'll see in a bit when I look it up. It is Insanity Sans. Yeah, a lot of you guys might or might not know who this guy is. I don't know how popular he is. But, yeah, I first found him on an animation. I don't know what it's called. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I just burped. I burped with my mouth closed. Yeah, my... Oh, and by the way, if you guys hear that noise in the background, that's just, my dogs scratching on my door. What was it called? No. What was it called? I've seen it before. I don't know what. I can't for the life of me know. Remember what it was. What? I don't. Okay. Well. It's by Sans Comic TV. Yeah, I might find it there. Oh, God. I mean, finding it should be easier. I mean, it's not just a comic, but a full-fledged animation. Animation compilation. Maybe this is the one. No. Just a bunch of animated battles. No. What is this? I don't know. What is this? I don't know. Dogs out there being stupid again. Well, where are you? Well, I thought I knew where it was, but I guess I don't. It was basically a full-fledged animation that featured all the bad Sanses, like Dust and Killer and Horror, all three of them. And I don't remember. I can't for the life of me remember where it is. No. Where are you? Where did you go now? I don't know where you are. I don't know where the heck you are. I'm gonna find you. Sorry. Kind of broke out the song there. Bad Sans animation. How about voice acted animation? Because I know it had voice acting in it. No, not that one. Not that one. No, 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 no. Well, I thought I knew where it was, but I guess I don't. I don't even remember what the heck it's called. Wait, Villains Reunite, maybe? I mean, I guess. It's the only logical explanation. Villains Unite. Wait. Did it just pop up? The Bad Time Trio. Wait. Is that what it's called? It just popped into my head. The Villain Sans Squad. This is it. Oh my god. I thought I was never gonna find it. And it's not by Sans Comic TV. It's by Yamata 41. Oh. I never thought I'd find you, man. Yeah, so it's called the Villain Sans Squad. And it basically featured Insanity Sans, but only for like a single scene. Which kind of, disappointed me. They featured him in only 2 scenes. And that's it. Dude, this guy is creepy. So yeah, Insanity Sans. He's only featured in 2 scenes, and that one scene, and that's it. Which kind of disappointed me, to be honest. Yeah, he's probably not too well known, which is why I'm going to be reading about him today. Same deal. I'm assuming by now you probably you'll probably know the gist. I'm gonna read slow, gonna commentate, blah 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 blah. Let's just go. Insanity Sans. Backstory. Okay, so his backstory is pretty short, but pretty basic. Sans was experimented on by Dr. W.D. Gaster. Of course he does. Who attempted to set monsters free from the underground by taking the determination from a human soul and finding a way to safely inject it into monsters. Through several experiments of trial and error, Sans was the first patient to not undergo amalgamation. This led to him moving to the second phase of the project, honing the power of DT, or by this point, determination. He was able to learn the functions of the save file, and it was shown how DT influences magic through Asgore's trainee royal guardswoman, Undyne. Over several months, these sessions became less frequent, with Sans slowly becoming more isolated. Small thoughts of why Gaster had left him isolated for so long turned into resentment for him. As he grew more violent and as he grew more determined to find out why, this spiraled into a violent killing spree, lost from its original goal. So he got isolated, he went insane, killed a bunch of people basically. Profile. Appearance. Insanity Sans shares many physical characteristics with Undertale Sans, aka Classic Sans, as some of you guys, true Undertale fans, might call him. Namely his blue hoodie, which has a crease on the right sleeve and 5 rips, and has a dust fragment above his head due to the DRS, Determination Reinformation status. His white slippers have rips on them, his teeth split in 2 from an attack from Asgore. His eyes are smaller than normal, wears white winter gloves with modified determination on the right glove, with modified DT in his teeth and a part of his hoodie and the top part of his shirt. He also has cracks in his skull. His hard mode design is the same, except there are 3 dust fragments instead of 1, and a big hole in his chest showing his soul, which is white and upside down, and half of it is red. Wields 2 sharp bones with modified DT on them. His eyes are no longer shown. Has bigger and more cracks on his skull. Has modified DT on both of his hands. Has more modified DT on his teeth and more modified DT on his hoodie. My God, you look messed up, my man. No, I didn't know you were wearing gloves. Like, you just looked messed up, my guy. Personality. TBA. I'm gonna look that up. To be announced. It's all over the when some details of an event or activity are not yet known. Oh, so they don't know his personality yet. Or maybe this guy just don't has one because he's a freaking psychopath. Abilities. Okay. Luckily, the abilities are not 10 paragraphs long. Like with Color Sans, which I read about in my last vlog. For those of you guys that haven't checked it out yet, go and check it out. It's a cool video. Sharp bones. Unlike many other versions of Sans, his bones are sharp and have modified DT on them as magic is tailored to the user of it. Gaster Blasters. He doesn't use them often. They also look similar to Insanity. Shortcut. Sans can use shortcuts just like his Undertale counterpart. Reset. Insanity has the ability to reset. Death resistance. Insanity could resist death due to the DT. Telekinesis. Insanity can use telekinesis just like his Undertale counterpart. Orange attacks. Unlike his Undertale counterpart, he can use orange attacks. Save. Insanity has the ability to save before Frisk fell in the underground. Load. Insanity also has the ability to load before Frisk fell in the underground. And, tree. Papyrus. Okay. Guys, I saw something insane in the trivia section. Check this out. check this out. Papyrus is still alive, which is why his head hasn't turned to dust. Dude. He literally... Okay, so you guys... For those of you guys that don't know, because it probably didn't explain it down there, he basically... Insanity basically has the habit of holding Papyrus's, like, head everywhere he goes. And, like, the bottom... Basically, the head of Papyrus, his entire lower jaw is completely missing. And he has, like, blood, like, in his teeth. And there's a blood-stained bone impaled, like, dead in the center of his head. But Papyrus is still alive. I mean, I guess that would explain why he hasn't turned to dust, but... Oh my god, bro. That's messed up. So you're telling me that Papyrus, Sans' freaking brother, is still alive, watching his own brother commit murder after murder after murder, and being unable to do anything about it but watch? Oh my god. Sandy has lost his mind. Also, another thing I found creepy about Insanity is that he often has, like, occasionally, like, his face would occasionally, like, twitch. Like, do these little twitches. And, dude, what's worse is that during that whole scene, Insanity did not talk. He didn't say a single word. Didn't make a single peep. This guy's messed up, bro. Like, this guy has just lost his mind. What was Gaster doing to you in that lab, my guy? Like, bro, this guy's, like, on a whole new level of mentally deranged. I mean, not even Error or Nightmare went that crazy. But Insanity, he went all cuckoo. Okay, so next, we're going to be reading about Horror Sans, which is another insanely popular character. In the Undertale fandom. But I don't know if I'm in the right story.
No, I gotta put a diaper on you, so you can't go bare accident. I know you're sleepy. Yeah, so sleepy.
I don't know if they have the full story here. Okay. I guess I'm gonna read. Oh, but before there's a page one here. And I feel like the page, I feel like if I'm gonna read, I should read the warning first for the more sensitive people in my audience. So that they'll have an idea of what I'm about to read and not want to watch it if it's too much for them. So I'm just going to read the page warning. The following page contains mentions of extreme violence, gore, starvation, blood, and other themes that some people may not want to be subjected to. If any of the previous themes unsettle you, then please do not read this page. You have been warned. So yeah, guys, if none of these themes that I just listed are for you, then you might want to leave this video now, because this is about to get bad. Okay. Profile. After his skull got broken and a part of his magic was taken by the now insanely violent Undyne, something within Sans changed. Sans instigated a new rule by Undyne, where humans who fall down will be consumed for survival. After this, Sans was no longer the joyful skeleton he once was. According to the bunny, despite the rule he himself had planted, Sans has not eaten anything for 7 years, which then led to him losing his kindness, along with his sanity. So yeah, I think basically like the core of it was that the humans invaded the underground, I think, and they're falling lower and lower on supplies. Hang on, wait. I'm gonna go to the right. I'm obviously not reading the right bit. Yeah, I think now I'm on the right one. Horror Sans. Okay, so sorry I read the wrong page, guys. That was my fault. But yeah, this page applies the same thing. If you guys are sensitive to starvation, gore, violence, blood, anything, then please do not watch this video if you are sensitive. You've been warned. Horror Sans is a much darker and insane version of Sans, created by Tumblr user Sour Apple Studios. In this AU, Sans appears as a major antagonist/protagonist of Horror Tale after Frisk did a neutral route. Undyne became the ruler of the underground. The stress became worse when the core shuts down, resulting in the air being toxic and the food source completely ran out, resulting in the monsters slowly losing their mind and sanity. Sans and Papyrus gave out rations to the needy and trying to keep the morale as high as possible despite the circumstances. Undyne eventually lost her mind due to the stress, and Alphys revealed Sans' unique power to be a chance to bring the core back. Reaches to the point where Undyne attacks Sans, almost killing him and stealing his power and his sanity. With a crack in his skull and a blood-red left eye with the right eye completely gone, is the new face of the now insane skeleton who poses a new rule. He claims that Undyne made this rule where humans won't be harvested for souls, but food. Appearance. Horror Sans doesn't change much when it comes to attire. Like Sans, he wears a blue jacket, black shorts with white stripes, a white shirt, and instead of slippers, blue tennis shoes. His shirt also appears to be stained with blood, as shown in SAS's mini-comic Service. However, his jacket is a different tone of blue and the hoodie has gray fur. His physical appearance is what really makes him stand out. Unlike his original counterpart, he still wears the same clothing, but is dirtier from the blood. His bones are weak since he hadn't eaten anything for many years. He has a large and very noticeable crack in his head. His eyes are entirely black, but he has a blood-red pupil in his left eye. Sometimes he's portrayed carrying a big axe, but in the original comic, Sans isn't seen carrying any weapon, except one mini-comic, where Sans seen carrying a bear trap. His smiley grin has widened and became more psychotic after his cranium got broken, which might be due to his psychosis or because he is in pain. Personality. Before his cracked skull and insane demeanor, Sans used to be a cheerful skeleton with a welcoming and intelligent, yet hilariously lazy attitude for all, showing that a few puns can bring upon a smile or two. However, after his skull being broken and part of his magic being snatched by the now insanely violent Undyne, something within Sans changed after that incident. Sans claimed a new rule created where humans who fall down are to be consumed for survival. After this, Sans is no longer the joyful skeleton he once was. Despite the rule, Sans never eats anything, especially humans, for 7 years, which gnawed all the kindness out of him, along with all the sanity thrown on his brother, who fell for his trick to eat a piece of flesh in a spaghetti meal in order to save him from starvation, and convinced to not go on a hunger strike. After many years of hunger, Sans is seemingly bored of everything, but it has damaged his psychological state severely. He now enjoys psychological humor and enjoying every bit of Eliza's screams. Whether it be Papyrus's puzzles or the hungry people of Snowdin or even himself torturing her, he has no sense of moral or care for any right or wrong. His jokes have changed from annoying yet funny to dark, insane, and sadistic, reflecting his attitude. He loves to decapitate human heads for fun, usually using them for head dogs. However, he gives himself boundaries, which one is never eat a human, despite being the one who gave out the rule, and tries to prevent Undyne from finding out of Eliza's existence. He also shows regret and sadness over realizing he almost gave in to his hunger and tore out her arm and almost ate it, only for Papyrus to stop him via letters to him not to eat anything that moves. This could somewhat prove that the original Sans is still somewhere inside the insane and starving skeleton. For now, all other AUs view him as an insane yet trag figure who is merely a small piece of what he was only seen to Papyrus and only him. Abilities. Physical strength. Horror Sans is far more powerful than his original counterpart, with extreme physical strength, able to rip off the arm of a child in one swoop, while also able to cut through almost everything with his axe. Bones. While Horror still retains his bones, they appear sharp with bloodstains on them. However, the main unique ability is its extreme durability, able to withstand a Gaster Blaster with no scratch, and is able to insta-kill anyone from below, making it very dangerous in close-range combat. Weaponry. Horror Sans has several weapons along with him, his most favorite being an axe or a cleaver. These weapons tend to help Horror in a lot of situations. Semi-immortality. In many AUs, Horror is depicted having some form of immortality, claiming he can't be killed since he isn't alive. While this isn't proven, many AUs depict him being extremely difficult to kill, requiring complete obliteration to truly kill him. This doesn't mean he is omnipotent, destroying, but this means that if a body of his, no matter how small, survives, he is still alive, though this hasn't been proven or shown. Gaster-blasters. While no one has seen Horror use gaster-blasters, it's speculated he might have, although we don't know what it looks like. Osteokinesis. The ability to manipulate / maneuver bones, including bones in the body, allowing Horror to just rip them out of you. Past life. Around 1 month after the core. Malfunctioned, Sans and Papyrus would give their food away to ones in need, while Sans would convince his friends that support and jokes is enough to keep their spirits moving in the right direction. One day, some of the dog monsters left to go to the core for a meeting and asked Sans if he would want to come along before they left Grillby's. Sans turned down the offer and decided to eat. Suddenly, Grillby smashed his food, screamed in pain as the clean magic of air that created the fire of his very existence was now gone, and begged Sans for help. Scared, Sans ran out of the restaurant and decided to join the dogs to the core. Sans later arrived to meet Undyne and Papyrus, apologizing for being late, and handed her blueprints of the core's interior. Undyne was left impressed by his work and thanked him. As a response, Sans said, "What are friends for?" leaving Undyne to go and reconcile for lashing out at Alphys a month ago. As they hugged, Sans and Papyrus decided to go home and eat some food. As Sans turned around to say goodbye, he noticed Alphys staring at him, very intense and crazed, making Sans somewhat tense. 3 months had passed, and the core was nowhere near being fixed. Sans was walking around the waterfall at the time and heard a conversation of Undyne and Alphys were having at another location through an echo flower. He was left horrified from Undyne's consideration of suicide, Alphys mentioning that food was running low, the thoughts of monsters wanting to eat one another, and most importantly, Alphys suggesting that they use whatever kind of powerful magic Sans had in him to power the core. Not wanting any of this to happen, Sans spent weeks in the shed, conducting plans of engineering and science. Papyrus attempted to reach out to him, but he was not interested. Upset, Papyrus began to leave for the core. Thinking of the horrible stuff that Undyne could possibly do to his brother, Sans offered to go in his place. As he almost left town, the not Mayor Bear called out to him and expressed his concerns for him. Sans shook them off and told his friend that he was fine, but was really high in his true feelings. The bear then walked him to the end of the town and packed him a pear for the road. A while later, Sans noticed a kid crying from starvation. Sans offered his pear to the kid, but was left in shock from how disfigured their face was, as they were dusting. Once the kid had dissolved completely, one of Undyne's guards appeared and walked him to the lab, telling Sans how noble he's been for giving his food away, but also worrying about his state. They then arrived at the lab, with the guard shutting the door behind him, leaving Sans in the dark and creepy lab. Sans walked through the halls of the lab, pretty jumpy about how dark it was. As he began to brush his worries aside, he heard screaming, with his reaction being creating many numbers of bones down one of the halls. Once he started to calm down, he instantly screamed and jumped when a goat mother, possibly Toriel, was creepily smiling right next to him after the loss of her child. Blaming her daughter's death on Undyne, she stated to Sans that she was starting a revolution against the Queen. Before she left, she offered Sans a place in her uprising. A while later, Sans met up with Undyne in front of the core. Undyne, not wanting to sacrifice her friend and being afraid that his presence may make her consider it, asked Sans to leave. Sans did not, however, and said that he had an idea to fix the core. He devised that they destroy the only power cell inside it and rebuild it. As he began to leave, Undyne yelled at Sans for being useless, as she thought his plans were stupid. Hearing this, Sans immediately grew angry that he was giving away his food, convincing his friends not to end it, and staying up day and night trying to fix the core himself only to be called useless. After a long argument, Sans apologized for his outburst and offered Undyne to have some food at his house. Undyne, finally losing it with no other options, had her guards pin down Sans and explained to him everything Alphys had told her about him. She gripped a mechanical claw in her hand and held it close to his face in means of extracting his bad time eye. Pissed, Sans breaks free and fights back with his magic, confirming to Undyne that Alphys was right. As he tries to teleport away, Undyne holds him still with green magic and throws arrows at him. Sans' reflexes prove to be far too fast for her to hit him and explains that she should quit. Alphys, however, speaks through the speakers and tells Undyne that she should wear him out. Before she could say anything else, Sans destroys the speaker. Undyne attempts to wrap up the fight by throwing one giant spear at him. Before it could touch him, Sans uses his magic to repel the spear and hit the right side of Undyne's face, thus preventing her from turning into Undyne and Undying, Undyne the Undying, and causing her to release Sans from the magic grip from the pain. However, reflecting the spear took a lot of magic and energy, resulting in Sans collapsing from exhaustion. Seeing her chance, Undyne grabs him and holds him. Sans attempts one last time to convince her there were more ways to fix the core, but this falls on deaf ears as his eye is removed from his head. This results in a giant hole in the side of Sans' head and bleeding out, but not turning to dust. As Undyne leaves, the guards prepare to bury him, but Sans is still very much alive, and he kills one of the guards, taking his eye and shoving it into his own socket. In the process, the blood that was pouring from his injury turns the eye red. He then chases one of the guards to the core, where he warns Undyne that Sans wasn't exactly dead. He killed the guard, then attacked everyone in the room with bones, harming them with his karma effect. He quickly leaves to go confront Alphys, as this was her idea from the beginning. Sans knocks on the door to her lab. Knowing who it was, Alphys refuses to let him in, only for the wall to be destroyed by him. Alphys cowers, saying there was an explanation for their attempted murder. Sans does not want to hear it and then prepares to rip out her jaw. Alphys quickly presses a button, turning on a machine that was powered by his eye. Recognizing the blue glow as his magic, Sans began to hear reason from what Alphys had to say. While saying Sans had every right to be mad and kill her, she explains that his idea about the core's core was too big of a risk, and that while this wasn't justified, Alphys tells him that monsters had him to thank for this. Sans remained silent, seemingly beginning to understand her actions. However, Alphys went too far by saying that while she was sorry for her convincing of Undyne to kill him, she expresses that she doesn't regret her choices and that she did the right thing. This seems to trigger Sans, as he turns towards her with a creepy smile. He then proceeds to impale Alphys' head into many sharp bones sticking out of the wall and damage the core with many bones, thus rendering the underground without power once more. He then leaves to avoid Undyne's wrath. Relationships / character mentions. Horror Tale Toriel. Horror appears to be friends with Toriel, communicating with her from behind the door. Though in the playable teaser, he claims that he hasn't checked up on her lately. It seems like they are still in contact. He was the one who told her how terrible the world outside the ruins is at the moment, which seriously damaged her sanity. He also tried to prevent Eliza from escaping the ruins. Horror Tale Papyrus. His relationship with Papyrus hasn't changed. They're still very close. But he questions how much time and effort should be put into his brother's puzzles. Yes, they have an interesting spin of bloody murder, but they're not original. Sans convinced him to eat the humans, so he won't die from starvation. He also seems to argue with Papyrus at times, and rather in a not-so-relaxed way, such as when Papyrus argued with him when he misheard freebies as frisbees. Sans talked back to him in a not-so-nice tone, rather than admitting he was wrong about in the sly way and landed slide. The player / Eliza. Horror doesn't care much for the player / Eliza. To him, she's just another human that's about to meet their doom. When asking him about home, he replies with, "Aw, got a family waiting for ya? Nice parents? Friends? That's cute. But I doubt it. You look pretty miserable for a well-loved baby human." He then proceeds to insult Eliza and explain how things down in the underground are worse. His gore puns make Eliza really uncomfortable. Beyond this, Sans tried his best to resist the urge to eat a half-cooked Eliza, and he also teleported her from death, so he might care. Horror Tale Undyne. Horror hates the underground's new ruler, Undyne, or I am not saying that second word because it might or might not be a bad word, is what he calls her. He also mentioned that Undyne is better off dead. This all started when he was brought in her for assistance for fixing the core. Already being experienced with science and mechanics in the past, Rick devises a plan on taking the core apart on the outside and changing the inside. Undyne did not find this useful and lashes out on him for having the weight of their people being on her shoulders and for claiming that Sans wasn't doing anything. This angers Sans, as he has been staying up day and night trying to end this nightmare, while also convincing his friends not to commit suicide. A while later, their argument ends up in Sans apologizes for yelling, as he hasn't eaten in some time. Undyne, going crazy and remembering what Alphys informed her of the former earlier, had 2 royal guards pinned down Sans. However, Sans fights back, revealing his powerful magic to be true. As the fight goes on, Sans inflicts serious damage on the right side of Undyne's face, before finally running out of energy. Undyne then extracts his bad time eye, and during the extraction, Sans' skull cracks and bleeds out. However, he is still alive and kills one of the guards that forced him down. He proceeds to rip his eye out and place it into his own socket. The blood pouring from his head then covers the eye, turning it red. Horror Tale Gaster. After asking about Alphys, you can ask about Gaster. It's hidden under the ... text. Horror will tense up, flash an unsettling smile, and then Bones will impale Eliza. Oh, I forgot this is a fan game. I forgot this is a fan game. I may have to check out. I may have to research about the fan game. I might find a playthrough on YouTube, maybe. Because I forgot this is a fan game. Murder Sands. Being a member of the Murder Time Trio, Dust is the supposed leader, though currently they have a very low-key relationship. Though they also often make puns to each other, or sometimes argue over who is the true psycho among them alongside Killer. Being a partner to him in the Murder Time Trio, Killer and Horror don't have a strong relationship, albeit often insulting each other and competing. Wow, okay, Horror Sands was interesting. I don't know what to think of it. Definitely a bit more graphic than my original reads, but I gave you guys the page warning, so don't be too mad at me. So yeah, I'm gonna end this vlog here, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.